ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदसमआणिस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ओम्। Om. May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both speech and mind be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through this study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto you all. Good morning. This morning I am going to speak a little bit philosophical aspect. I am going to give a comparative study of two giant philosophers of India. Coincidentally, the birth anniversary of these two giant philosophers are very close, and they are Shankaracharya and Ramanuja. Both of their birth anniversary fell on the same month in April. But Ramanuja was born way after Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya was born in 788 CE and Ramanuja was born 1017 CE. So Ramanuja is younger than Shankaracharya. So I am going to speak on a comparative study of the philosophy of these two giant philosophers. And these are very, very prominent philosophers, and they dealt with extremely subtle, interesting and intellectual aspect. But these are definitely studies, but it has a tremendous impact on spiritual life also. Because unless we understand, unless we analyze, in medical science, they post-mortem the human body and they come to know what is the actual problem in a human body, in a person. exactly in the same way, spirituality is not outside. Spirituality is inside. It is completely individual. So that's why we have to analyze ourselves. The more we analyze ourselves, the more we go deeper inside us, the more we can have the access or to understand ourselves. To understand ourselves in a deeper level is spirituality. So that's why it is completely important to understand ourselves. And that's why philosophy is important in philosophical life. There is a question always, people, they raise this question that, what is the difference between philosophy and spirituality? And there is a group. If you Google, you can find it. There is a group. We are spiritual, not religious. So people want to be spiritual, not religious. So philosophy, again, we want to be religious, but not philosopher. So that's why, but this relation, what is the relation? In a very simple way, I explain this relation between the spirituality and religion, or the spirituality and philosophy. And it is this, that philosophy or religion is a container. You cannot keep something, the essence, the nectar, without a container. So if spirituality is the essence, spirituality is the main juice, the main nectar, then the container is religion or philosophy. Without religion or philosophy, you cannot hold the spirituality. In spirituality, behind spirituality, there must be some kind of philosophy or religion. Otherwise, spirituality cannot hold. Spirituality is not anything which falls from the sky suddenly. However, I am going to speak a comparative study. Generally, in Indian philosophy, there are 3 types of differences. So definitely, as a comparative study, we shall highlight the differences and the similarities. That is the comparative study. Where they differ each other, I am not going to speak which one is highest. I am not judge here standing here and give my opinion or judge which one is better. I am not going to do that. What I am going to do is, I shall present the similarity and the difference between these 2 extremely intelligent philosophers of India, not only India, all over the world. So, that is what I am going to do. In Indian context, the spiritual and religious people, they are mainly the spiritual or religious people, they are not simple spiritual, they are philosophers. They have extremely strong philosophy. Take the example of Buddha. Buddha developed a unique philosophy. All these philosophers, they developed a unique philosophy, and philosophy means intellect. some intellectual aspect is involved there. So let us start. What is the similarity between these two? So Veda, let me explain before going to this, the works or philosophy of these two giant philosophers. In Indian philosophy, there are three types of differences. We all are different from each other. So what kind of differences? How can we explain the differences? Yes, definitely the complexion, the temperament, the character, many things are different from each other. But overall, if we think whole these all differences, there are three types of differences. In Sanskrit, the difference is called Bheda. Bheda, the differences. Three types of differences. The first type of difference is called Sajatiyo or Bijatiyo differences. Bijati. Jati means the species. Bijatiyo means the different species. The difference between different species. Take the example, what are the species? Human being is the species. Tree, a mango tree is a species. Then the coconut tree is another kind of species. So there are different types of species. So this is the first difference. The different kinds of species. Human being, a tree. A coconut tree, a mango tree. So this is first type of differences. Completely different of species. This is, in Sanskrit, it is called Bijatiyo. The difference of Jati means species. Bijatiyo means difference in species, among the species. This is one different. So I can easily confirm that a mango tree is different from a coconut tree. Why? Because two different species. A man is different from a tree. A man is different from a tiger. Why? Because these two are different species. So this is first type of differences. Then second type of difference is called Sajatiyo. Sajatiyo means the same species. So if I am different from you, so we are all human species. What kind of species? The Homo sapiens, or we can say the human being. We are the human being. This is a special type of species. So now I am different from you. You are different from him or her. Then it is the difference from the same species. So it is called in Sanskrit Sajati. Sajatiyo Bheda. So difference between the same species. I am different, Mr. X is different from Mr. Y. This is difference, but among the same species. So I am different from you. Why I am different from you? Because it is in the same species, although it is in the same species, but we are different. So it is not mango tree and coconut tree, it is the difference between two mango trees. It is different from two mango trees. This is second type of differences. Then what is the third type of differences? In Sanskrit, it is called Swagata Bheda. What is Swagata Bheda? The difference between same mango tree, the different leaves, different mangoes, that is also different. So same mangoes, it is Sajati, two are same, but two mangoes are different. The human being, We are human being, but different. So in the same tree, two leaves are different, two mangoes are different. So in a same mango tree, it is called Swagata Veda in Sanskrit. Now, we are presenting the comparative study of Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya. The philosophy of Shankaracharya, it is called Advaita Vedanta. Advaita. Dvaita means two. A means in negative way. We in English we use D or sometimes A or sometimes non. So non, this. So in Sanskrit, to mention the negative sense, it is called A. So that is Advaita, means not two. Dvaita means two, not two. So not two means it is one. Two means two or more. So not two means it is one. So Shankaracharya propagated the theory of oneness of existence. In Sanskrit, it is called Advaita, not two, it is one. And Ramanuja's philosophy is called, in Sanskrit, Vishishta Dvaita. Vishishta means very special, qualified. Qualified non-dualism or qualified dualism. It is very special dualism. Dualism, but very special. Special kind of dualism. Vishishta Dvaita. Vishishta Advaita means non-dualism. So, special type of non-dualism. Or in otherwise, special type of monism, means one. This is the name of the philosophy. Now let us see what is the similarities between these two philosophers. Both Shankara and Ramanuja have admitted the Brahman is the only truth. The absolute is Brahman. Yes, please.
You said the first one is Advaita Vedanta. Is the second one?
Can you please little louder?
Oh, sorry. The one that's specialized, is it specialized non-dualism or is it specialized dualism?
Non-dualism.
Okay, so they're both non-dual.
Yeah, both are non-dual, but one is specialized. Now, and Ramanuja is the propounder of that. And Shankara is the propounder of simple non-dualism. So both Shankara and Ramanuja, they admitted the Brahman is the only truth. So Brahman means the ultimate, the absolute truth. Absolute truth. Truth has a special definition in philosophy. What does it mean by truth? Truth is always absolute. Truth means time, space, and causation. It is same. That means it is beyond time, space, and causation. In all conditions, that is one and same. Take the example. In conversation, we say truth. That is a kind of not 100% truth. That is a kind of preliminary truth. Take the example of gravitation. Can we call it truth? Because everywhere gravitation is present. But still, there are places where gravitation is zero. In this earth. So we cannot say that is also truth. When we sleep, where is the gravitation? Can we feel gravitation? We cannot feel gravitation. So in sleeping state, gravitation is absent to me. Then again in dream, when we dream, at that time, again gravitation is absent. Only gravitation is present when we are in the waking state. So it is not a truth, according to philosophy. What is that which is present every moment of our life? Are you asking any question?
Yeah, just wanted to know that you said that when we sleep, gravitation is absent, but that is from a subjective perspective.
Yes. If I will not be there, where is gravitation? If I am dead, then where is gravitation? Where is world? Where is cosmos? Nothing is there. Zero.
But if somebody comes and sees me sleeping, then to that person there is gravitation.
Yes, that is that, but you cannot understand that. I am talking about individual perspective. So, when we sleep at that time, the gravitation is absent. So that cannot be the truth. What is that which is present always, every moment of my time, whether we sleep, and that is our consciousness. So only one truth is there, that is our consciousness. And if you consider it in an individual consciousness, in Sanskrit it is called Atman, and the collective consciousness, the cosmic consciousness, which is called Brahman, the absolute truth. So that is, absolute truth is Brahman. So it is present all the time. I do not explain why it is present. Even in sleep, the consciousness is present. Because we have the experience that I had a very good sleep. Who is experiencing this? Definitely that consciousness was present there. Otherwise, how can we experience that I had a very good sleep? Okay. So that is called truth. Only consciousness in this universe, under the sky, is truth. So absolute truth is called Brahman. So that is the only truth. The world and individual soul have no existence apart from Brahman. So any other things, they have no existence apart from that. And the equation is, Brahman is the cosmic self and individual self. So individual self and cosmic self are one and same. That we have to understand. Then Brahman is to be regarded as the ultimate support of all, everything. Brahman is the oneness of existence, according to Shankaracharya. Oneness of existence, that is, everything is the different expression of that one Brahman. That is the philosophy accepted by both Shankaracharya and Ramanuja. You see, in a convex lens, the light is coming and it is refracting and going in different directions. So exactly, the source is one, it becomes many. Through something. I am not going to tell something. What is that something? But something. Because Brahman is one truth. And how Brahman becomes one? One becomes many. How? It is because of our ignorance, because of a screen, because of something which is called Maya. Because of this Maya, because of a screen, illusory screen, that becomes many. So this is the, in short, very short, this is the thing. Now, both Ramanuja and Shankaracharya, they accepted this concept that Brahman is one and it becomes many. And it is the substratum. So everything is Brahman. So why I am, right now, I see this chair. How can I understand it is Brahman? So it is said that the substratum is Brahman. On the substratum, something is superimposed. Take the example of a rope and a snake. In night, in dark place, if you go, you can see a rope as a snake. You are afraid of it. You shout. But when light is brought, you find that, oh, it is not a snake, it is a rope. So what happens? The philosopher, they explain it in this way. The rope is the substratum, and on that, the snake, imaginary snake, was superimposed. So, everything, this world, is nothing but superimposed under Brahman, under the substratum, over the substratum of Brahman. So that is the idea of these philosophers, that it is superimposition. And definitely superimposition, what is superimposed, doesn't have, there are many characteristics, doesn't have any effectivity. That superimposed snake cannot bite you, number one. When something is brought, when light is brought, the snake vanishes. So when in certain condition, this illusion will not exist. Take the example of a rainbow. You can see the rainbow. You can see it. A snake, you can see it. But you cannot cut the rainbow to decorate your room. No effectivity. And when the fog or the water bubbles, they go, the rainbow vanishes. So they are temporary, only illusion. Another example is mirage, These are the example. Just like that, it is superimposed. Now, regarding the efficient and material cause, everything there is a cause. How this world, how these things came into existence. When it thinks, this thing came into existence, it has two causes. We know the cause and effect, It has two causes. One is the material cause. It must have some kind of material. And then another is efficient cause. Somebody made it, the machinery, the engineering, the person behind it, they made it. So that is called efficient cause. or the instrumental cause is also connected with that. So this cause, then this world came into existence. What is the material? And what is the efficient cause? Who made it? Anything, if comes into existence, somebody made it. How it will be otherwise? One example is teleological cause. Like watch. So there was a watchmaker, no? If a watch is there, definitely there is a watchmaker, but we cannot see the watchmaker. We cannot see watchmaker. Watch is made and given, and it will continue serve our purpose. That is the purpose of God in one concept, the teleological cause. Then, according to these philosophers, they said the material cause and the efficient cause are same Brahman. How it can be? Both how it can be the same? That I am the material cause, I am the material and I am the efficient, I prepared this, how it can be? So they said, yes, it is possible also. They said the examples of a spider. What a spider does, from its being, it takes out a kind of solution which becomes the net. So in other words, we can say a spider was the material cause and a spider was the efficient cause. He made it. So it is possible. So Brahman also, it is said that it is the material cause of the world, this Brahman, same Brahman. And why it is material cause? Because substratum is there. The rope is the main thing. So in everything, the substratum is that Brahman. So that's why a material cause always is Brahman, and efficient cause, that is also Brahman, because he made it like a spider. So both of them, they accepted it. And now the God, so in that Maya screen, in Sattvika Maya, this Sattvik, there are three components in everyone. That is called Maya. What is Maya? Maya is the combination of three things. And that is called Sattas, Tamas and Rajas. So the predominance of this Sattva is the good quality. In each human being, we have three qualities. Our whole being are controlled and sustained by three things: the good, the dynamic, and the inertia part. Three things are there. In Sanskrit, it is called Sattva, Tama, and Raja. So Sattva is the good. Sometimes we feel very pious, Sometimes we do not want to do that. Sometimes we feel something divine. So that is Sattva, the good quality. Then sometimes we feel very energetic, dynamic. We work, we go, we do so many things. That is a kind of Rajas. And sometimes inertia, we become angry. That is the expression of tamas. So these three expressions. So sattva is the best thing. So predominance of sattva with maya, the God concept come. God in the opinion of both is the ruler and supporter of individual souls. So who creates this universe? God created this universe. Who is God? God is Brahman with a little bit good impurities, with little bit sattva, with little bit sattik maya. The example they give, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. The gold is gold, the pure gold. If you want to make some ornament, you cannot prepare from a pure gold. It is not possible. Pure gold is very soft. You cannot prepare any ornament from pure gold. You have to put some kind of, it is called pan, some kind of impurities you have to put, mix with the gold, and then you can prepare the golden ornament. Exactly in the same way, the pure Brahman, you cannot make anything else. With sattik impurities, the concept of God is coming. And when the sattik impurities, then there are attributes, qualities. Brahman is without any attributes. But when the concept of God is coming, then God has the qualities. What qualities? God is the ruler, the sustainer, and the destroyer also. So it has qualities, attributes, action. It is due to God that the natural and moral orders of the universe have been brought together. Natural order, winter after summer, after spring, this natural order. Human being is born and die. Natural order. Then morality also. Ethics and morality. This is a different topic. I am not going to that point, otherwise I cannot finish. Because morality, it is very important. In different religions, ethics and morality depends upon the prophet's rule. What prophet says, that is moral. Everything is immoral. But according to Indian philosophy in Vedanta, the morality depends upon self, that Brahman. That is different topic. I shall speak on another day. I spoke already, but anyway, another aspect. But this is, the morality also come from there. Both Shankrara and Ramanuja have described the path of devotion. Both of them accepted the path of devotion as the suitable path for the attainment of God. According both, devotion is not separated from knowledge. Devotion and knowledge both. So what is devotion? According to them, devotion is the knowledge of God. That is the knowledge of God. That is called a devotion. So according to them, devotion is also knowledge. It is not emotion or it is not kind of feeling, it is a knowledge, kind of knowledge. So what are the differences? These are the similarities. They both accepted devotion as a knowledge. They both accepted God concept. They both accepted Brahman concept. Brahman manifesting everyone, everything. So what is the difference? The first thing is Shankara has opined that his faith in Nirguna Brahman, but Ramanuja's is Saguna Brahman. What is the difference between Nirguna, Guna? What does it mean by Guna? Guna means attributes, qualities. So according to Shankara, Brahman doesn't have any qualities, any attributes. But according to Ramanuja, yes, Brahman has attributes. What is these attributes? I shall only speak on this very little bit philosophical, but I am sure you can understand this. So, according to Shankara, it is Nirguna, no attributes. So now the point is knowledge. How knowledge dawns? Because everything depends upon the knowledge. If we do not have any knowledge, how can we understand that? Everything comes to us as a knowledge. Otherwise, we cannot feel it. Even our feeling is also a kind of knowledge. Everything we are aware of, we are not aware of. Everything is knowledge. Everything comes to us as a knowledge. Both accepted that knowledge. Now, what kind of knowledge? How knowledge associated with our Atman? Here is the difference. How does knowledge associate with ourself, our being? Here is the difference. According to Ramanuja gave one example. He called Mani Prabha. It is a Sanskrit word. Mani means jewelry, jewels. Take the example of diamond, jewel. Mani means jewels. And Prabha means the aura, the light comes out from this jewel. So this is the concept of Ramanuja. Means one thing is there and its quality, its possession, attributes. So what knowledge, how knowledge resides? Knowledge resides as if our Atman is the diamond and light of diamond is the attribute, the possession. So with that knowledge, we can see everything. So knowledge and ourself are not one and same. It is different. According to Ramanuja, it is the attribute, it is the quality of Atman. And it connects ourself and the object. That is why we can have the knowledge of the object. Makes sense? Now, what is the understanding of Shankaracharya here? Shankaracharya's understanding is this. Atman doesn't have any kind of attributes. It is self-effulgent. The light and Atman are synonym. It is one and same. It is not a thing and it is also there. So what happens actually when knowledge comes? It itself, self itself is the knowledge, self-effulgent. Knowledge has itself. It is, so how it a thing? So it is, this knowledge reveals our own self. The same knowledge reveals our self. How can we realize? Here comes this spirituality. How can we realize ourselves? So Indian spirituality is this. Try to realize your own self. Go deeper and deeper. First, understand your mind. Because mind is very confusing. And it is not under our control. If you can bring your mind under your control, that is enough. That is 80% done. But we have to understand ourselves after that. Meditation. Why we do meditation? To focus our mind. Meditation is the means through which we can attain the goal. It pinpoint, it is not the end. Meditation is not the end. By meditation we can bring our mind focused, and then we apply that to find ourselves in second step. So we are trying to practice meditation. Meditation is not the end, it is the means. So we have to find the goal, that is Atman. How can we have the knowledge of Atman? Because knowledge itself reveals that subject. And at the same time, knowledge reveals the object also. That is why we can see outside everything. But according to Ramanuja, the knowledge is associated with the object. Knowledge reveals the object. That's why we see this. Here is the difference. But this is ordinary man. And Shankaracharya accepted this view. He said, yes, this is correct for the ordinary people. But what about the realized person? According to Ramanuja, the realized person, they have the organ. He says, the Atman is in the same place, but the organ, it is going out and it has the changes, according to Ramanuja. It has the different changes. But Atman is there on the same place. Shankara also admits that, but if you see very carefully the difference between Shankara and Ramanuja, you can find that in the higher level, no difference in the preliminary level. On the higher level only, the difference also very, very subtle. Very, very subtle. Shankara says that the knowledge reveals in the self itself. The self itself is knowledge. Ramanuja says that when the object is revealed, it revealed by the organ is going out and everything, but Atman is fixed, Atman is okay. So this is the difference. Now how can we make the difference? The ray, like attributive knowledge of the Ramanuja, is not different from Vrittigyana of Shankara in Vedanta. In the lower state, both these forms. So here is very subtle, according to Ramanuja, the self is here itself, but the organ of knowledge, these two things. Ramanuja accepts these two activities, but Shankara, according to Shankara, it is only one. The self-revealed knowledge. And in the higher, in the liberation state, it is very difficult to understand whether these two knowledge of Ramanuja become one or what. So it is very difficult to understand. So in the stage of liberation, no object revealing knowledge is apprehended according to Advaita Vedanta, but Ramanuja, on the contrary, holds that attributive knowledge exists in its pure form in the liberated soul also. If we think of the position of the attributive knowledge in the stage of liberation as expounded in qualified monism, we find that although the ray-like knowledge exists in the stage, it is of no use from the practical point of view. So, these two knowledges of Ramanuja, it is very difficult to explain or understand that whether they are merging into one or they are two, because they are very subtle differences there. So that is the stand. So if the self is there, according to Ramanuja, if self is there, then object of knowledge has no any value at that point of time. Because the self itself is working at that point of time. So that is the image of the difference between Shankara and Ramanuja, and this is the similarity. So in the stage of bondage, Shankaracharya too has felt the necessity of worshipping of living God, who is the creator, preserver and destroyer of the world. This creator God is indwelling soul of all things and beings, but in the higher self, in the higher stage, it becomes only one. God will vanish, only one. Both Shankara and Ramanuja have admitted that for the realization of Swaguna Brahman, devotion is required, but Shankara goes another step of Nirguna Brahman, not Saguna, the Nirguna Brahman. And that is explained in Bhagavad Gita also, in chapter 12, where the Akshara Brahman is described. It is said, contemplation consists in approaching the object of worship by way of meditating on according to the teaching and dwelling for a long time steadily in current of the same thought, like a thread of a descendant oil. So it is continuous, like a descendant, the thread on a descendant oil. So a continuous flow of oil is there. It is steadily. So meditating and worshipping in a steady way, continuous steady thought, that is the Akshara Brahman. Ramanuja also, he says, the same way of the form of succession of memories which unbroken like stream of oil. The same thing. Both are same, just the unbroken thoughts. Shankara says unbroken thoughts like a thread inside the oil, and Ramanuja says unbroken memory. Both are almost same. And the stream of oil, obviously. So in the bondage self, actually we find that there is a subtle of difference. But in the higher stage, we do not find any major differences between them. So it is a kind of, I spoke the Bheda, the differences. So it is a kind of Swagata Bheda. The differences in a same tree, the difference between two mangoes, the difference between two leaves, that is the difference. The difference almost nil. According to Ramanuja, the soul in the final stage exists in its pure form, being devoid of all natural conditions, and God is also realized in its pure eternal form. So see, Ramanuja says that the final stage is all natural conditions, devoid of all natural conditions. So no attributes. These two philosophies, two principles, exist in body-soul relation. The individual soul does not merge in God, but becomes similar to God and remains inseparable relation with Him. That is Ramanuja's contention. In the highest stage, they will not merge, but according to Shankara, they merge into one. But according to some interpretation of Shankara, especially in Siddhanto Lesha Sangraha, it is also said that liberated souls attain Godhood and remains in that state waiting for the liberation of the soul in bondage. So that means in one sense, Siddhartha Lesha Sangraha, it is also said that the soul in liberated state also, it does not merge. So that is what's said. When the soul will be liberated and all upadhis, mean attributes, will be destroyed, then and then only difference between the soul and God will come to an end. To believe in human being, individuals, assuming the form of God, or to assert that the atomic soul, which has become similar to God, remains in an inseparable union with Him, does not make much difference. So, in the higher stage, this difference is this Swagata Bheda, the difference between non-dualism and qualified monism is very, very subtle. Like Swagata Veda, the difference between same tree between two mangoes, the same tree between two leaves. Very subtle. Any question? Yes.
So is it safe to say that per Shankara, God is the operating principle that got infused by the sattvic impurity and hence the apparent creation?
Yes.
But then with Ramanuja, the operating principle stays intact, and so I guess
So yes, you are right. Gets intact in the liberated stage. In the preliminary stage, everything is same, but in the liberated state, according to Ramanuja, the individual self got separated always from the God.
so they never merge.
No. But according to Shankara, it merges. And not only merges, it goes another one step to Brahman, where that is Nirguna. But God in this case is Saguna. Any other question? Yes, please.
In Ramanuja, sorry, I don't know how to say it. They believe also that God is infused with Maya or uninfused with.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. 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 But they do not go up to the level of Brahman. Definitely they go to the level of Brahman. But these two self are not merged. According to, just like the Christianity. Christianity says that the individual self never merges with God. These two are separate. Always stay in separation. But according to Advaita Shankara, they merges. And according to Ramanuja, it ends in God, which is Saguna, which is attributes, with attributes. But according to Shankara, it goes up to Brahman. Any other question? Yes. Little louder.
So, according to Shankrara, both formless and with the divine with form, like Saguna and Nirguna Brahman, are both Brahman. So, how does could you say more about how he justifies making the distinction between Saguna and Nirguna Brahman if Brahman is non-dual?
Yes, because the attribute. It depends upon the attribute. And what kind of attribute? There are different types of attributes. Take the attributes of knowledge, what I gave the example. According to Ramanuja, it is the example you can remember, the Mani Proha, the jewelry and its radiation and its light. Just like that. So it is a possession, having mode. But for Shankaracharya, it is the being mode. The knowledge itself revealed. It is not possession, being mode. So this attribute is not there. So according to Shankaracharya, there will be no attribute. I am talking about the Brahman in higher stage. But God, yes, definitely it has the attribute. So that is Saguna. So Shankaracharya accepted Saguna Brahman. And the difference between Nirguna and Saguna means attributes. Just you see, exactly in the Christianity. In Christianity, God, what is the concept of God in Christianity? It has no form. You have not seen God. Only you have seen the Son of God. So, Son of God, through Son of God, you can go to God. You cannot go to God alone, simple way. So if you consider in this way, it is not correct. So if the Son of God is a kind of Saguna Brahman, if you just consider it. But it has attributes, it is a son, it is a human being, it is a kind of form. Then God is the Nirguna, if you can consider it in this way. For understanding only. It is not perfect to justify in that way, but just to understand. Anything?
So did Ramanuja accept the fact, so what did Ramanuja say about you said that the organ comes out of the being or the objectify or
reveal the object.
Yeah, so did he tell anything about the origin of the organ? Because the origin of the organ has to be the...
It is not, it is not like a physical organ, you know.
Right.
We do not have to consider it as a physical organ. It is a kind of the revelation.
So it is projected.
Projected, yes. So that kind of. So in that way, he tries to justify that Atman is its own place. Atman is not doing anything. Atman is okay. But only revelation is by the organ of the reflective organ or something, whatever you can say this. So in the higher stage, this has no function because the external object and everything vanishes. So the Atman is only spark. So that is his philosophy, you know. Whereas Shankara here says that no, it is self-revealed.
It seems like Ramanuja is more towards explaining the mechanism of perception, but Shankara is more about the absolute.
Well, perception is not there actually. Perception, it is not. We cannot say it is a kind of perception. We cannot say it is a kind of perception, but he says this knowledge is the connecting link between these two things. But Shankara says no, knowledge, pure knowledge, in the lower stage, Shankara accepted that. But in the higher stage, the pure knowledge is self-revealed. It reveals the self itself. And according to Ramanuja, the knowledge reveals the object and the self both. Okay, thank you. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkham Apnuvat, Sarvastarotu Durgani, Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu, Sarva Sadbuddhimapnotu, Sarva Sarvatra Nandatu, Durjana Sajjano Bhuyat, Sajjana Shantimapnuat, Shantamucchete Bandhebhyo, Muktoschanyan Vimochayet. May all be happy, may all enjoy good health, may all see happy events. May all be freed from miseries. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain the tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bondages. May the freed make others free. May the Supreme Spirit, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied, for he being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. As usual, tea and coffee will be served in the Sharadananda hall, which will be followed by Prasad Lanchan. You all are requested to join. And next Sunday we will have the lecture here. And obviously this month happens to be Buddha's birth anniversary. So probably next Sunday we will have a talk on Buddha.